Good morning guys, welcome back to another video. So as I mentioned yesterday, one of the problems that came up in the bike fit was the type of saddle that I use, and we found that the Physique Arione, which is currently on this bike right there, is no good for me. But the problem is today is a Wednesday, and as I've mentioned in previous weeks gone by, most of the bike shops around here are closed on a Wednesday, and therefore I can't buy a new saddle. I need to buy a 128mm saddle with a cutout in, but I can't do it today because all the shops are shut. So what I'm going to do for today's ride, because I'm out for 3 hours and I don't really want to be riding that saddle anymore, and I know I shouldn't be riding it. But I've got an old bike here with a San Marco saddle on, but it's slightly more horizontal at the back, so it should ease the pressure down the middle. And it's a 130mm saddle, so it's not too far wrong. It's not ideal, but I think it would be better than the Physique for today. New saddle on, ready to go. This saddle actually suits this bike better with the red and white colour scheme. But as I keep banging on, this is only a temporary bike for the next week or two until I get a winter bike, and then I'm going to transfer all the parts and all my bike fit dimensions, fittings, sizings onto that new winter bike. Literally just got dressed and it started raining, but who cares, let's just go out. Dried up now and the sun's actually started to come out. I was originally going to go over here, but I'm not fancying that, so I think I'm going to go over there. Just riding along the coast and it's so windy. Listen to this. Woo! Alright, that's the end of today's ride. Decent 3 hours, a couple of tempo efforts, but I felt I was pretty tired today. It was a struggle, but we made it. Alright guys, so one of the big debates in cycling in 2016 is power meters. Power meters. Power meters. I think I've come up with an easy guide as to whether you should buy or not buy a power meter. I just want to say I use a power meter. I've used stages for the past few years. I had multiple stages. I went through, I think, 5 warranties for different reasons of broken stages power meters, and then finally I switched over to an SRM power meter. So that's what I'm currently using now. Now I absolutely love my power meter and I wouldn't be without it. I use it every single day. It's my main pacing tool. It's my main training aid. For me, power meters are essential. So my guide splits cyclists up into 3 different subcategories. I'm going to talk through each 3 subcategories and explain whether you should and should not buy a power meter, and whether it's worth it for you when you place yourself into one of these 3 subcategories. So the first subcategory is social cyclists. Now this is your typical weekend rider, someone who just rides for the fun of it. They enjoy just going to the cafes, out on club runs with the friends, and they don't do any specific training whatsoever. So would this person benefit from owning a power meter? No. Okay, category number 2. This is where it gets a little bit more tricky. Category number 2 is sportive rider. This is someone who still rides on the club runs. They ride about 2 or 3 days a week on average. They don't do any specific training unless they're in the run up to a sportive event, and then they'll start to do a bit of specific training. Does this person need a power meter? Also, no. Well, I say no, but it's kind of like that borderline. If you're someone and you've got plenty of money, and if you don't mind spending a lot of money on bike parts, then you might think about buying one just for the sake of it. But in my opinion, you wouldn't really find the benefit of it. You know, it wouldn't be a worthwhile investment. You'd just be having a power meter for the sake of having a power meter. You don't need one. You're not going to use it. So for 99 95% of people in this sportive rider category? No. And the final category, and this is the category I'm in, and this is why I've got a power meter. The race cyclists. So this is a cyclist who purely trains to race. They'll do the occasional club ride, the occasional easy ride, but the majority of their training will be focused and will be specific to maybe that type of rider or the type of race they're looking to compete at. And with this type of rider, training becomes specific, and you got to train at specific zones and do specific intervals, etc, etc, if you want to be, you know, a good racing cyclist. So should this person buy a power meter? I think you already know the answer. Yes. So I hope you enjoyed that little little guide to whether you should buy a power meter or not. It's just something I came up with when I was out training today. It's not the be all and end all, you know, you might be a club rider and you might want to have a power meter, and that's fine. But for the most part, I think this guide, splitting us all into 3 different categories, works out pretty well. I know that I've got these 3 types of riders on my channel. I know the majority of people are in this category, and you might be thinking of buying a power meter, and yeah, just don't. It's pointless. If you want to buy some sort of pacing tool, buy a heart rate monitor for a fraction of the price. If you want to become a better club rider or just a fitter person in general, you don't need a power meter to do this. You just need to go out, ride your bike for the fun of it, for the love of riding a bike, and just enjoy yourselves. So putting a power meter on your bike is worthless. But that is it. That's the end of my guide. I hope you sort of took something from that, and I hope that maybe clears up some of your thought processes and makes a few decisions for you. But thanks for watching, guys. If you found this useful, please leave a big thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.